What's going on? I got another short, sweet, simple video for you guys. I'm going to be changing my lower ball joints out for my Cadillac. I'm doing them off the car, but it's just as easy, if not probably easier, to do them on the car. So if this video helps you, hit the like button, subscribe, or if you just want to be cool, hit the like button and subscribe. We're going to get to it. I'm doing it on 96 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham. Like I said, pretty much anything with ball joints, G-bodies, Caprices, Roadmaster, anything with ball joints pretty much. I've done like Kias and stuff like that. I'm going to show you how I do it. I got a nifty little tool. It does wonders. It's worked for me time and time again. I've done a ton of ball joints with these things. As you'll see, it's pretty worn out. Probably about time to get another one, but it's still ticking. So let's get to it. Alright, I'm going to be doing lower ball joints for my Fleetwood. And this is the tool here. As you can see, it is rough. But there's the part number. I got it from AutoZone many years ago. The part number may not be the same, but I think it is. Alright, this is pretty much how you would be doing it on the car. Like I said, it's really easy to do it on the car. It's actually kind of harder to do it off the car because nothing really holds the A-arm. But what you want to do for pulling it out, you'll use that right there. That will sit on top of it. As you see, there's a bunch of rings in there. That is going to be facing down. And the reason those rings are there is because you use these cups. Different ball joints, different sizes, obviously. That'd be like a little front-wheel drive car right there. That'd be like a really small front-wheel drive, maybe even like a four-wheeler. But it comes with all different cups, 3 different cups. So I guess not all different. But as I said, you want those rings facing down. And the reason you want to use this one is because there's a hole in there. It'll go over the stud of the ball joint. Then you got another little piece, looks like this. Kind of looks the same as the top, but it doesn't have the hole all the way through. It doesn't have a hole all the way through because the press has to press on that. And this will go on the bottom, but you got to use your cup. As you can see, it's got the same rings. It all fits together. And the reason being with this is when that ball joint presses through that arm, it needs somewhere to go. If you didn't have that, the press would just be pressing against itself and it'd just be like a big C-clamp, holding something together. So we'll put that on the bottom side. Alright, so we got our lower cup on there. And the bottom of your A-arm will be open unless it's reinforced. Mine's reinforced. And I actually cut enough of a hole out of there to fit this tool in it because I knew I'd be using this tool. And I'd more likely be using this tool in the future also. So I wanted to make sure that it was all compatible. And then we'll get our big C-clamp like this. This will sit over there. It's got a little ridge there which kind of locks it in. Plus it's got the hole for the stud to go through. And we might as well get our threaded piece. We'll throw our threaded piece in there. And the bottom of that fits on the top of that. Just like that, kind of keeps it in place. That way it doesn't come flying out. Sometimes this thing can be a little bit of a juggling act, but the more you use it, the better you get. I've found if you can put this in place first and then kind of walk everything up, it usually goes pretty good. Just gotta kind of go at an angle. There we go. Just gotta kind of mess with it and figure out what works the best. Now the only downside I really have to say about this is if you aren't using it on the car, you do have to jack the car up pretty high because you gotta get all the way down here. And you can use an adjustable wrench, believe it or not, or a crescent wrench. I think it's 13/16. I use an impact, way easier. Just a couple ugga-duggas, boom, done. So I'm gonna grab my impact and throw it on here, and we'll get this thing knocked out. I was wrong. That's a 7/8. That's why I grabbed 2 sockets, 13/16 and a 7/8, because I knew if I grabbed one, it would be the wrong size. And it would have been correct. I'd be wrong. Alright, we got our impact. And first and foremost rule, make sure you have it going the right way. If you hit it going the wrong way, it all falls apart and you gotta start over again. We will be tightening this. Now, it sounds kind of weird tightening it to push something out, but that is how we're doing it. It's kind of reverse of how the thing works. So here we go. Just like that. Give it a couple more ugga-duggas. I thought it fell all the way. Ta-da! Lower ball joint. And it's pretty much that easy to get them out. These are aftermarket. I put them in there years ago. The factory one may be a little bit tougher. Wouldn't hurt to put PB Blaster or WD-40, any kind of penetrating oil on there. But like I said, with that tool, it'll pretty much make them do what you want to do. Pressing them in is pretty much the same. You gotta set your press up differently. But the key thing to pressing them back in is to make sure you keep your ball joint square. Because when you're putting this thing through a tight spot, if it gets crooked, believe it or not, it actually makes it bigger. So it will not go back in there, and more likely it'll crack your arm. So I'm going to be putting new ball joints in at a little bit later time, but for you guys it'll be in just a second. Alright, so I'm going to throw this old ball joint back in there, mainly because I still need to mock this up on the car and make sure I like the way everything fits. So I don't want to put my new ball joint in there because I still got to sand on this and make it look even prettier, and I don't want a bunch of dust getting in my brand new ball joint. So first I'm going to pop that back in there. You want to start it out and kind of get it as square as you can get it. And then obviously, you know, it's going to kind of do its own thing when it starts going in there. But we'll be using that for the bottom now, just like so. We'll be using that one and one of those for the top. That way the stud and everything will have room to go in, plus the hole is there so the stud will be able to go through it. And this is upside down. If you're doing it on the car, you don't have to turn the car upside down. Trust me, just turn the tool upside down. And you want to take your grease fitting off your new ball joint. These are trash, so I really don't care as long as it goes in. And from what I can see, everything looks good. So once again, we'll grab the impact and send the ugga-duggas to it. And once you get it in there, you want to look down there and you can see right there where it butts up. You want to make sure there's no gap. And this one looks pretty good. I was kind of concerned that I wouldn't be able to see in there because of the way I've plated it. Yours will be open, and I will show you just what yours looks like if it is stock. Alright, here's what yours looks like. It'll look just like that. You'll be able to see it really easily on the side. And it'll be easier to get the tool in there. But I just want to make things difficult on mine. So, there you have it. It's that easy. Really isn't a bad job. Like I said, if you have an impact, it makes a world of difference. I've done it with adjustable wrenches. I will show you the wrench that I use. I use that wrench. You can get away with it like a 12 foot. You can get away with a 12-inch wrench. Cheater bar, I would suggest, because leverage will be your friend. But totally possible. I've also heard people knocking them in and out with hammers. I've tried it before, never had any luck. If you've done it with a hammer, congratulations. But I want to make sure mine is all the way in there and seated as much as I can get it, and that press does the job. And a lot of times you'll hear a pop, once it fully seats, and that kind of tells you that it's all the way seated. Kind of hard to hear it with an impact, honestly, but like I said, you just got to look at it, use common sense. Look at it, make sure it's all the way in there. When in doubt, give it a couple more ugga-duggas. You're really not going to hurt this thing. I've put it through some serious torture. But yeah, that's going to be the end of it for this video. Like I said, it's short, sweet, and simple. So hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share. I'll see you on the next one.
What seems to be the problem?
Good shot. Got away free. It lives to die another day.